Hi there, and welcome to Coderash with Gaurav, where we break down the AI core concepts, tools, trends, and updates into small and consumable chunks so that our learnings becomes easy. And this video is especially about loop engineering, a buzzword that is hitting the trends currently and is right top on the charts. So in this video, we'll look at what loop engineering is, how different it is from prompt engineering, context engineering, and harness engineering that we have seen so far. Uh, we'll see what it takes to define a good loop, what it means to do loop engineering, and what are the success and error criterias if you are getting into loop engineering. What are the key information that you must know? And we'll see if this is just a buzzword or a hype or there is a solid engineering behind this. So let's get started.
If you've been spending the last 2 years perfecting the art of writing the perfect 500-word prompt to get an LLM to behave, I have some news for you. There is a brand new paradigm. The era of static prompting is giving way to something infinitely more powerful. Welcome to the age of loop engineering. We started with prompt engineering, just throwing inputs at a black box and hoping for the best. Then we moved to context engineering, where the focus was to optimize on RAG and the context that we can give to the large language models. Then we moved to harness engineering, wrapping evaluation and testing infrastructure around our models. But right now, the absolute cutting edge of AI development, the stuff powering autonomous software engineers, advanced reasoning systems, and enterprise agents, is all about the loop. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what loop engineering is. Look at how it fundamentally shifts our approach compared to prompt and harness engineering, and look ahead at why this is the skill that will define the next decade of AI development. Let's dive in. Alright, let's strip away the buzzwords. What actually is a loop in the context of AI? At its core, loop engineering is the design, optimization, and management of iterative execution cycles where an AI system takes an action, observes the outcome, evaluates its own performance against a goal, and modifies its next step until it gets it right. Instead of a single shot where the model guesses the answer, you are engineering an environment where the model can think, execute, fail, and self-correct. Think about how you write code. You don't just write 200 lines of code in one go in Notepad, run it once, and expect it to work perfectly. No, you write a bit, you run it, you look at the terminal error, you tweak a line, and you run it again. You live in a development loop. Loop engineering is about giving that exact same superpower to AI agents. The anatomy of a loop. A standard engineering loop generally consists of 4 distinct phases. Act. The agent generates code, a response, or an API call. Execute. The system runs that action in a sandbox environment, example, executing a Python script, hitting a live endpoint. Evaluate. A feedback mechanism, which could be a linter, a unit test, or another LLM, checks the output. Refine. The original model ingests the error logs or feedback and loops back to step 1. When you build systems like this, the quality of the raw foundational model matters less than the quality of the loop it lives in. A smaller, faster model inside a beautifully engineered loop will consistently outperform a massive, cutting-edge frontier model operating in a single, blind shot. Prompt versus harness versus loop engineering. To really understand why this is a massive paradigm shift, we need to compare it to how we got here. Let's look at the evolution. Prompt versus harness versus loop. And of course, there's context engineering in between, but we won't talk about that explicitly here, as it was mainly about one-shot generation, like prompt engineering with better context management. In prompt engineering, the core philosophy is garbage in, garbage out, and the focus is to optimize the input string. The core logic lives inside the text prompt, system instructions, few short examples, and the output is static and generated in one shot. In harness engineering, The core philosophy is to trust but verify. Build testing pipelines around the model. The core logic is in the testing suite, CI/CD pipelines, evaluation datasets like LLM Assages, and the output is validated and benchmarked. In the loop engineering, the core philosophy is to iterate to perfection and to build dynamic runtime environments. The core logic resides in the state machine agentic architecture, control flows, tool execution spaces, and the output is dynamic, self-corrected final state. The breakdown. Prompt engineering is linguistic. It's about psychology, semantics, and phrasing. You're trying to coax the model into a specific latent space. It's useful, but it hits a hard ceiling when complexity scales. Harness engineering is architectural. It's traditional software engineering principles applied to AI. It asks, how do we know this prompt change actually made the app better across 1000 edge cases? It's about building the guardrails and the scorecards. Loop engineering is behavioral. It doesn't just evaluate the AI at the end line, it embeds execution and evaluation directly into the runtime. The harness becomes part of the model's internal cognitive process. If prompt engineering is teaching a kid how to read a map, and harness engineering is giving them a driving test at the end of the year, loop engineering is building a self-driving car with a continuous leader feedback loop. See the difference? How to engineer a great loop. So, if you want to get into this space, what are you actually building? What makes a loop good versus an infinite, expensive token-burning spiral? Let's talk about the three core pillars of loop design. 1. State management. In a loop, the agent needs memory. It needs to know what it tried in loop number 1, so it doesn't repeat the same mistake in loop number 4. Engineering the state means deciding exactly what context gets passed back to the model. If you pass the entire terminal output, the entire codebase, and all previous failures, you'll blow past context windows and dilute the model's attention. You have to engineer clean, compressed state transitions. 2. High-fidelity feedback. The environment. A loop is only as good as its sensors. If your agent is writing code, your loop needs a pristine sandbox with a fast test runner. If the feedback to the agent is just error, process exited with code 1, the loop fails because the feedback is low signal. If the feedback is syntax error, missing parentheses on line 42, the loop resolves it instantly. 3. Exit conditions and circuit breakers. This is where people lose money. If you don't design a strict exit condition, your agent will get stuck in an infinite loop trying to fix a bug it doesn't understand, running up a $500 API bill while you're asleep. You need circuit breakers. Maximum loop counts, example, max 5 iterations. Cost thresholds. Human in the loop, HITL, handoffs when confidence scores drop below a certain percentage. The future of loop engineering. Where is this going? As foundational models get faster and token costs drop towards zero, the cost of running loops plummets. Right now, we care about time to first token. In the near future, we will care about time to resolution. We are moving away from building linear software pipelines to building ecosystem loops. We'll see multi-agent loops, where one loop's output triggers a completely different specialized loop. We'll see self-optimizing loops, where the system analyzes its own execution history over weeks, figures out where its bottlenecks are, and rewrites its own system prompts or tool schemas to become faster. The developer of tomorrow isn't going to be writing code, nor will they just be writing prompts. They will be orchestrators of loops. They will design the sandboxes, define the success metrics, and monitor the state machines while the AI iterates inside those boundaries to build the actual products.
And that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Now, if we take a honest feedback and gather all the learnings that we looked at over the course of this video, let's do a review. To me, it feels like loop engineering is nothing new. Loop engineering was already existing, and just that it has been given a new term right now. If you looked at anti-gravity, the recent video that I had made, there was a goal-oriented skill. Now, if you run that sub-agent called as goal, you all you're providing is run this loop, or probably run this prompt as a loop until you get the desired result. Now that is loop engineering. Recently, we saw in the news that Anthropic CEO and the co-founder declared that prompt engineering is dead and we only write loops now, which probably is true, but it comes with a cost. If you are doing loop engineering with large models and models that are very costly, you're going to pay a lot. So before jumping into loop engineering and trying something out, be cautious and mindful about the cost you're going to pay, because the agent is going to spawn a lot of threads and keep going until it finds something. So if you don't have a right breaking condition, if you have very long running tasks, your API bills are going to shoot up. So be careful about that. Uh, I don't think prompt engineering is dead. The fact that you have to write a good prompt is not going anywhere. Harness engineering and context engineering also are not going away anywhere, because with RAG or with fine tuning, you need to provide the right context to the model. Harness engineering is not going away because you need to provide a lot of surrounding information to your large language models so that your output is not just the words that come out of the model. It is a task or an orchestrated output that is good for your software. So calling things dead, I don't think that is justified. Loop engineering is definitely worth trying out because you don't want to be keep prompting again and again. I think if you have been a senior team member in your company, you know, and you have heard this from a lot of people that the models don't understand me. I have to keep correcting the output of it, and I have to keep explaining in a different way what I'm trying to express to the models, and I'm not getting what I want. Now, for those, loop engineering makes sense because if you are able to clearly define your goal rather than defining a prompt, probably you will reach your goal faster and the ultimate output will be closer to what you really needed. So just keep in mind about the API cost, and loop engineering definitely is a cool buzzword and a worth a thing to try. I hope you have enjoyed this honest feedback and the video overall. If you want me to deep dive and do a dedicated session on defining a loop, running that against a model and getting the output what we eventually desired, giving that as a goal to the model, we'll see that. We'll see how to write a good loop and what could go wrong while you are defining a loop. If you want me to do a dedicated video on that, do leave a comment and we'll do so. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Do leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and keep showering the love that you have done to this channel so far. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a good one. Bye bye.